Alright, welcome to my stream. So today I'm going to analyze my stream from yesterday, specifically the tournament that I did. So if we take a look at the stats that were on here, this gives a pretty clear indication that I performed significantly better than I did on the previous two tournaments. So for example, my total placement point-wise was 66 compared to 37 and 37 previously. So that's fantastic. Overall, I had 70 points compared to 41 points last week, and then the week prior, 42 points. And as you'll see, the placement-wise, 34.7 was my average out of the 10 rounds that I played, compared to 45.6 and 46.7. So what we're going to actually do is break down each one of the games and go to the kills and the deaths that I had in them to figure out what could I learn from it and what can I improve. So if you are watching this on Facebook or on Twitch or on YouTube, feel free to give me a recommendation on, hey, you could have done this better, or hey, maybe you should practice doing A, B, or C, etc. So always trying to improve, pretty obsessed with self-improvement and whatnot. And so let's break this down some more. So I'm going to pull up this, and we're going to look at, this. Okay, so it should be good enough volume, I think, if I put this at 50. So, the very first round, when we started off, I was going to plan on going to where Dr. Neurolab and I tend to land, but other people were going there and had a better drop, so I changed course and decided to go to this center large island. This ended up working really well in my favor for the majority of the games that I was playing and whatnot. So, harvesting, getting some better guns, etc. Nobody really engaged, so I'm just kind of scouting out, checking out the area, trying to move around the outskirts, continuing to harvest and get some more mats. Really nobody coming here. This was a pretty quiet early game, so I'm just continuing to move around the outskirts and move towards the center, and then I get right here. As long as he doesn't move. See a person here? And use it as cover while doing. Watching this again, though, I don't notice the person right here, which is funny because, like, this is the bigger thing to notice. I'm so focused on this person that's clearly hiding from them, and I didn't even realize that. That's what they were doing. But let's see what happens. There's a guy right here. Oh, and let me just set this up. Sorry. My audio was low. There we go. So now you'll hear it better. Okay, so continuing. That was kind of sloppy of me. See, I have no idea this dude is right here. Here I am just healing right in front of them. It's also kind of sloppy of them. No offense. It just probably wasn't the play to go with. Going for this bush. And then, hey, there's a person. I noticed them. Yeah, I can shoot too. So I ended up scaring them. They take the rift and they leave. So, hey Taco, good morning. How are the rest of your games with Dr. Neuro? So, I don't know. Like, how did I miss this? Like, there's no builds up there right now. And then, as I'm going over there, I don't notice the fact that, hey, you know, somebody built right there. It's just kind of funny, like how focused I was on this person that I didn't even realize that. So, congrats on the dub. I haven't gotten a dub in a while. So, continuing on this particular round, things are going good. This person left me alone. I decided it would be easier to actually take the rift. I could get to a better vantage point without having to just swim and whatnot. So, go to a bush. At this point, like, you'll notice that there's cover here, cover there, cover there, cover there. So I decided to just bush hop and switching to short range, like an SMG or a shotgun whenever I get close. So I'm going through. Start the bush hopping as soon as the storm starts to close on me. Okay, so I get over to here, and then I kind of want that high ground, but there's a person there. Somebody comes from behind me. I miss my shots. They hit one of theirs. Need to heal. Out of bullets. Reloading. Okay, so they're healing as well. I should have used my SMG at that spot. Okay, so then I heal up and I get back to health. So at this point, it's kind of like a stalemate. We're just kind of both playing for placement. We don't get aggressive on either person. So 7 other people left. Nothing much is going on right here. I'm not skipping any of the stuff that's like really worth analyzing. Because I go and do like a pre-analysis. Like you can see the markers that I put on here, where to start and stop. Okay, so somebody takes height and somebody is below me at this point. And so now we get to like the end game. And this is where I kind of actually have some fights I need to worry about and whatnot. And that would be good to analyze. Okay, so I go for cover here. Trying to get some cover here. Oh, that was excellent. Rude. Third partying right there. They took great advantage of that scenario. So I box myself in.
Oh, I'm stuck. There we go.
I'm able to, fortunately, move through here. That
really
storm would do a ton of damage.
Health damage. Hey, friend. We're friends now, okay?
Alright, so...
Oh, I'm so low on mats.
Cohabitation with the person above me.
There's mats. Oh, no.
I really want those mats. I have 180 total.
Oh, I'm stuck. There we go.
That's where I messed up.
Oh! You hit me. No!
I'm about to figure out the person who was responsible.
Okay, let's listen to my recap of this, like what my thoughts were, reflections in that moment.
Yeah, so overall, I felt like I played well enough on that round. I, at the very end, was worried about my mats, but I should have taken height. I should have just, like, mantled up or something. That person nailed me with a shotgun, but, yeah, it would have just been good to get some high ground. It's just, like, what I was afraid of is, like, if I'm building straight, and let's say I'm just doing a single floor, I would not have been able to get far enough building with that and just, like, continuing to run forward with the floors, because I had, like, what, 10 builds left total? Something like that. So,
agreed, but also disagree. So, like, I really wanted the mats that dropped right here. And now I'm looking at it, and there are some splashes. That would have been nice to have. That would have been able to make up for the storm damage that would have happened. But, like, look at my health. 52 health, 260 mats. Like, I just didn't want to risk it. So here's where I mess up, though. Looking at it in hindsight, I should have
I'm stuck.
Built up right here and just used one set of stairs and gone up top. Or even mantled, jumped off of this rock, mantled up, and then just continued to mantle up. Because this is like a straight path. And unfortunately, it led me right to this person. But there was also a person behind me. So it was kind of like, do I want to get hit from the side or do I want to get hit from right here? But either way, I think part of the issue is just like that balance between mats and placement and whatnot, like where you're at in the environment. So I don't know. I think I just need to play more of this type of end game. Like I wish they had the late game arena, so that way you can just kind of practice these kind of scenarios as opposed to just the 1v1s where you like are basically coming straight at each other. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, though, I mean, third place for the first round, like, that was great. Like, this was excellent placement, gave me a ton of points right away. But unfortunately, as you can see in the second round, I got 80 seconds. So let's take a look at that analysis. Or rather, let's do an analysis of that. Okay, so on this one, I am going for that island. I figure it's a good spot to go to. But there's just, like, look at all these, like, indicators. Just lots of people coming all over the place. Over here, etc. So I was like, well, I'm too low. Like, if you look at my, I'm going to land in the water from right here. So that's no good. So I decide to go here because there's guns and I at least have something. I get some mats. I'm doing okay. I actually get some blue health, which is fantastic. And I'm hanging out in this bush. But I see these splashes here, or the barrels, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I might as well heal up. And so then this leads to my mistake.
I don't like that either. Oh, it didn't build. Come on. Oh.
Oh boy, Morty! Somebody just got real brave over there.
Okay.
Good show.
So I tried to build stairs, and it didn't build. So I built stairs, and then was trying to build floor above it. But all you saw was a floating floor. It didn't build the stairs. Dang.
Yeah, so Taco, you mentioned not even seeing
I
those
was, like,
stairs
panic,
yesterday.
like moving my
indicator.
mouse.
I
Just
didn't see it
back
here
and forth,
either.
trying to hit it. As soon as I saw those builds, I should have honestly just waited it out. Clearly somebody was going to go for the splashes there, but I could have potentially sniped them if they were trying to harvest the metal off of them and just like stand still. But yeah, I pressed the stair button and it didn't work. All I got was the floor.
Yeah, so when I'm getting shot, my first reaction is to use stairs to, one, it blocks in front of you, but then two, it allows you to get some height. So that's like the first key that I will press. But I think I just pressed it too fast, because if we're watching here, oops, wrong direction.
Like that either.
Scrubbing the wrong way. So I get shot at trying to build stairs right here. Didn't happen. So, wah, wah. I think I just went too quick. They had the height advantage. I wasn't building any cover whatsoever. So, yeah, fish in a barrel right there. And finally, a stairs. So, I don't know. If anyone else has any other suggestions on this, like, feel free to put it in the chat. But leaving this vantage point was a bad idea, I think. Because I had a sniper rifle, I could have a relatively clear shot if they would have tried to break the barrels with their pickaxe to try and get the metal. Like, I could have easily done 100 plus damage just hitting them there. So, unfortunately, that really impacted, that 82nd place really impacted the score overall. Yeah, so the next game, I get 26th place. So let's take a look at that one. So this one, let's see. I didn't like that this was directly on the path. So I decided to go over here, and I'm aiming for this mountain because this is height. And there's usually a chest right there. So there's a chest, shotgun, like pretty good drop. I'm able to heal, but there's a person who's shooting right over here. Yeah, it did go right to the floor. I think, like, I've been getting a lot faster at the switching between, so my floor is with my floor is with my thumb, and then the stairs is with the letter Q. And so, yeah, I think I just pressed it too fast. Like, flammed it, basically, drumming term. Okay, so I get shot. There's a dude who shot me from right up here on this mountain. So I lose some white health. I'm able to get my shield all the way up and get to 75. And then I slide down here. Excuse me. I slide down here to just kind of get away from them. Let me scroll a bit. Okay. So just harvesting. I'm moving around the outsides. I decided to go to water side to get some more mats. I could get the metal. I don't break it because there are people who are fighting at the dock. And I just kind of want to avoid all that. I get some more guns here. Move into cover. I'm in, so I'm able to hang out here a bit. Again, focusing on placement. So I move around the outskirts. I start getting shot at. You can see my shield gets taken a bit right here. And so I continue to go around. I get to the edge by the lighthouse, and then I kind of feel bad for this scenario. So I noticed a footstep, so I decided to just immediately build up. and then they're just hanging out there. I'm surprised they didn't build cover. I think they were just hoping that I wouldn't see them. But because they were playing so meek, so timid, I decided to just push, because they didn't look like they were going to be an aggressive player who was going to be able to, like, 50-50 me real good. So, sorry, person. Okay, so moving around to the outsides, just going, not engaging. Those people start a fight, going bush to bush, trying to get more AR ammo. Hang out here. I know that there's a person underneath me right there. Somebody else comes over on my right, and then somebody else follows them. So I'm trying to avoid that. There's somebody up on the hill to my left, so again, just hanging out in the bush, trying to stay on the edge as long as I can. And then I start getting shot at, so I just kind of heal up. There's 28 people left. This is a relatively small circle at this point. But I make it over across the river. I get over to here, and then, whoops, wrong button. Hey. I get shot at. I get shot at behind. Hey. So now I'm getting pushed from two different angles. Hoping to get some shield off, but that person pushed.
Woo! Yeah, about that. Okay, so that was unfortunate, getting pinched from two different sides. I guess I should have, you know, thought of that. They took advantage of that for sure. Had my back exposed. Was distracted, and then they went in for the kill because they could see there's healing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was smart. They knew I was hurting. So the problem that I had here, I think, for retro analysis here, we've got people on multiple sides, and honestly, it may have just been better to just go right up against somebody and, like, box above them. I don't know, though. It was kind of like, because there's so many people left right here, like, you can get shot from here, you can get a shot from this person, you can get a shot from this person. There's another person right behind this person, so, like, it's a hard situation, and I didn't have any metal walls, so I couldn't, like, do a solid cover on either angle. So that was unfortunate, but okay, so next round. Oh, I get 80th. I don't remember this one. What happened here? Stay tuned, let's find out. Oh, right. No, I do remember this one. Okay, so I decided to go to the same spot. So this drop, it was too quick of a drop for right here. I assumed that there's going to be a lot of people dropping at the beginning, so I decided not to go there. I was trying to go somewhere a little bit later. I get a weapon. I start to move down, but somebody is there. I see footsteps, and so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go, because all I've got is an SMG and a pistol, so I'm not too thrilled with that. And then this happens.
Here.
See a person.
Whoa.
Was not expecting that.
Where'd they find an epic drum shotgun? I took a gamble and was like, oh, they don't have anything because there's nothing over here. No, I was wrong. Oof. 2 eliminations. 27 points. Okay. So now my average is worse. So it's 47.75. The best I've done is 45.6. So these two games in the 80s.
I thought there was more analysis here.
So I shouldn't have assumed that the person didn't have a gun. I should have taken height. I was hoping I'd just take them out with the SMG. But I guess there are some chests out in that direction. So.
Okay, so here's my guess what happened. My guess is they landed either at the bridge or all the way down at the shore. Like on this backside right here. And then we're working their way up and around. So they had plenty of time to go and get a gun. So my fatal mistake here was not building up. Like, I was like, oh, they're not going to have anything. I can just shoot them with the SMG. And then, no, having the epic drum up against the SMG while they're jumping down. Yeah, they're going to win that. So, GG's to that person. I guess a thing that I can lessons learn is I need to assume have the advantage and take height. Or build cover. So I like to write down like things that I learn and things that I can continue to improve upon and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, that was unfortunate. But the next round, so I get 19th, like the worst round I do after this is 42nd. So like, again, this is significantly better than my average last time. These 2 games of 80, like really impacted things. Like, look at that. If we get rid of those, then we have an average of 23. Like, that's fantastic. So, silly mistakes, but continuing to learn from even the silly ones. Okay, so next round, I decided to go back to here. I was going to go to this island, but this person, I swear it's like the same person every single game with that particular glider. Like, let's zoom in here. I'm pretty sure we were matched the same time every single time, and they kept going to that one location. So stay tuned, we'll find out. I land here. You're able to get a ton of hard mats. You can max out on metal. I take a single shot on that person. Just kind of hanging out in the bush, waiting. And then we've got... There's just a ton of waiting right here. Decide to move. Moving around the outskirts. 2 people move by me at this point. Continuing to move along here. I'm not engaging. I just kind of box up. This is, I think, the first time in a tournament where I actually use this strategy of the, like, looking through the cone, and it definitely helped in terms of figuring out, okay, where are people at, keeping an eye on everybody. So I use that multiple times throughout this particular tournament, which is good. So I'm getting better. So I move in towards where somebody else is at. I build above them, so I get height, and I build myself in pretty good, actually, right here. Stuck on the edge, or rather sitting right on the edge. Okay, so now let's watch this, where I make a mistake. So the storm starts to move. I start to take some storm damage there, or about to. So I'm like, all right, I need to slow down. Getting better at tunneling.
That was bad.
Other than that.
Alright, so overall my tunneling is definitely improved.
Agreed.
But I don't have a ton of mats for this. So that's not good.
Yeah, 306 mats total left. I decided to take height, which was a good move. Or at least move up a little bit higher. I see this person.
Oh.
And I'm trying to get their mats. So let's listen to the analysis here.
Holy Santa Claus.
Holy Santa Claus. There's another word that comes after that. Okay, so 19th. Placement-wise, that was great. I was expecting one person, and then I saw the other person shooting. I was like, oh, I can get this. And then there was a third person. So that was unfortunate. But overall, like, I feel like I played that pretty good. The thing that made me change my strategy is I was almost out of mats. So
Yep.
I had to change things up in order to, like, try and get a kill and hopefully move through it. I was trying to build a bunch of metal earlier when I was just kind of hanging out
You
and
did that
had,
just
like,
in time.
multiple little bases that I could run in
Sneeze.
between if somebody tried to push, but that ended up working against me because nobody pushed, and I was using a ton of mats for that. So I could have also, I guess, just mantled and taken height
Hmm.
rather than dropping down and going against that person. So I don't know. I'll watch it again tomorrow when I do my review. Do a little recap, and we'll see what I could have done to improve it. But
And I think I have another analysis right here.
like, I feel like I did well with not being aggressive, like trying to maintain cover and position and whatnot. But I didn't do well with my mats, and then I choked at the end, not knowing who do I shoot. Like, as soon as I dropped down, it felt like I all of a sudden realized, hey, there's 2 people right there, and I guess I really should have assumed that with 28 other people left aside from myself.
Yeah, so the mat issue, before this part where I started playing it in real time, when I was just scrubbing, I built a bunch of, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mats, or the one behind, and I did this, like, several times to make, like, a wide box that I could move in and out of different rooms in, because there was a person below me, and then somebody took height above me, so you can see a couple of footsteps there. So that was, like, the strategy was to make it so I could quickly get out of a sticky situation and not have somebody take advantage of my position in there. But it just, like, ate through my mats here. So, like, I got down to 0 metal at that point. But let's go back to the point where I made a mistake. Like, I didn't think somebody was going to be there. So I'm here. Edit through. I really need mats. So I have 176. I see this person. I could have built up right here. But I'm like, oh, I can take them and get their mats. But instead, no clue that this person was here. So I immediately switched to my SMG. But then I, like, look at my face. I panic right here because somebody else is right next to me. So it was not a good situation to be in.
Oh.
And right here, I'm looking at my health, and I'm like, I'm going to die from the storm damage. I don't have enough time to use the splashes. So I should have probably built a wall here and honestly just boxed them in, like a wall, stair, something. But I panicked.
Oh.
Oh, they built their own wall. They boxed themselves in. And then they hung out in the storm for a bit. So, yeah, I mean, that was great placement for that other person and great strategy. It worked out well for them. And I just happened to get in their way. That other person that I was shooting at, they got lucky that I ended up taking the fodder for that. But, okay, so next round. Let's go here. Okay, so on this one, I forget what happened on this game. Collins low computer. Okay, so I land on the same island before. See, look, this is the same person. I think we're hanging out together. See? Okay, so I land, I get shield, I get mats and guns. Okay, so there's footstep indicator. See that? Okay, so I'm hanging out in this bush.
Lost my vision.
Yep. Plant totally blocked it. Okay, so I know they're in there.
Sorry for.
My guess is they were expecting me to come around from this right side. But because of this dome, I was like, oh, I can not do that, make it look like I'm coming that direction, and instead just mantle over it.
Sorry, friend.
Another person comes. Little Mr. Hanky sound there. Okay. So that worked out well. Like, the mantling, I just don't think people are used to this strategy yet. So building to make it look like I'm going that way and then mantling up, it works. Like, not enough people, I think, are used to that. This amount of movement that I'm doing right here worked in my favor against a drum shotgun at that range. Like, I could have got wrecked. So I'm
Okay.
glad I'm getting better at moving and aiming, you know. Little skill to have, I guess, for a game like this. Okay. So I'm staying in the storm quite a bit because I know there's some campfires, and I also have my med mist. So I'm just kind of taking my time getting out to here. I'm at full health. I'm at full mats. I'm doing pretty good on ammo overall. There are like a couple of people, like there's this person right here that I choose to not engage with because I'm playing for placement here. So I just kind of let them do their thing, even though I like really wanted to knock this out and make them fall, but I didn't think it'd kill them, so it wasn't worth it. And like by the time they started hearing the shots, they might have moved down. So I hide underneath the, what is it, a tennis court or basketball court? I go up here, I take height. I'm in like the best position that you could get. Again, I'm using this to my advantage to be able to see where everybody's at. There's people all over the ridge here, just outside of Tilted. I go through, start tunneling just to kind of stay along on the edge, just continuing to keep my eyes on people. Like, look how many people are just like building all over on this other side. There's also some people to my right and some people right underneath me. Hey, ZYX Yuv. I appreciate the sub on YouTube. Thank you very much. I'm just kind of doing an analysis of yesterday's tournament, what I can do to improve. So if you got some suggestions, please let me know. All right, so I'm moving along. This is where things get pretty hectic. So let's watch. Stay tuned, find out.
Come on. I said reload.
Got stuck, got better at the quick edit to get out. That's an improvement. Something I worked on this week. See, there's people around me.
Time to tunnel.
So I tunnel. Poorly.
Wrong direction. Sometimes I do it too quick. Reset. Come on.
Okay, so just trying to stay on the edge of the storm right here. Somebody right next to me.
Okay. Trying to go slow intentionally.
Still 13 people left,
Want to just be in.
other than me. Closing the builds behind me is great in case
Okay.
somebody is trying to go through my builds. They can't just run through it. Okay, so I got height. Somebody's here. I'm kind of worried about that.
Ho ho.
Mantling just saved me. So I push on them.
No!
But then
Oh, he came from behind.
Holy Santa Claus.
Did the same sound effect. I didn't realize there were two there. What I was trying to do was switch to my chug splashes, and it didn't switch.
yeah.
Ah, I missed the placement. Gotta look it up again. Yeah, so I was trying to switch over to my splashes, get a quick heal off, and then I was gonna take height again, but I didn't. That didn't happen. It wasn't switching, so I don't know. I feel like instead of like a doggo cam, I should do a keyboard cam so I can like go back and watch. Jared, what were you pressing instead of what you should have been doing?
Right. Okay, so let's look at this again. So this was great. Like the tunneling, I learned how to tunnel 2 weeks ago. So the fact that like I was able to do this tunnel with the edit on the back end, like that speed is pretty awesome for this being a relatively new skill to have. I'm not bragging or anything, just trying to be honest with like the progress in that amount of time is good.
Ho ho.
But here's where like I lose sight of people behind me.
No!
I tried to
He
switch
came
over
from
to
behind.
the splashes to use those right here instead of the med mist. But I had no idea that somebody was right behind me. I was like fully intent on, all right, I'm gonna use my splashes and then I'm gonna use the combat SMG to push through this wall, get them, and if I get the kill, then it'll give me the siphon, etc. But
No!
wamp wamp. So 14th though. I mean, that's not bad at all. Happy with that. All right, so the next round, and this one I got 30th. So let's see what happens. Woo, here. So we zoom out a bit. Land again on this island. it's just a good spot. I think I'm going to continue to do this. Great materials, good amount of chests, surrounded by water, so it's harder for people to get to you without, like, noticing them. It is a larger island. Just keeping eyes hanging out in the bush. Trying to play for placement. Okay, so know there's people around me. Saw some builds, saw somebody rift. And we get to here. So somebody joins me on the island. They have height. They know I'm somewhere in the bush. Okay, so I build above. I heal. I'm at full health now.
Dang.
Shouldn't have done that. I should have built height while I was running.
I pressed reload, but okay.
Or rather built cover. So, like some kind of a tarp. I realize I'm totally exposed right here.
Making sure he doesn't come from behind me.
I wanted his right-hand peak. I built cones above me so he couldn't take the floor above me. He built me in. I don't know what I did there, shooting the shotgun.
I got stuck.
That stair, like, really impacted.
Oh, I thought we traded.
Look at that.
He's got 1 health.
I need help. I need an adult.
I agree, Nick A30.
Yeah, okay, so
I
let's
thought I
listen to the analysis here.
It was good that I had the builds, but I didn't realize he was going back around and taking that height. And when I built those stairs that built right behind me, I was trying to build it in front of me to give myself some cover so I can move around. But yeah, I was at too far into the box, so just built above my head rather than underneath me.
Sludge break.
I did not panic though. While doing that, I built above me. Like, you'll notice that I built the cones on the floors above me, just in case he tried to get up there. He at least had 1 more layer to go through. I could have potentially built, like, broken the brick above, but I was afraid he was going to push faster. But, man, I can't believe 1 health. GG, person. They play that smart. They had the right-hand peak advantage. Oh, no, though. I think that was some RNG saving them in the end. I think we both should have died, to be honest. It seemed like it was simultaneous.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's look at this again.
That would be the wrong button.
It was great of them to take the wall. Smart.
I got stuck.
I tried to build stairs here to give me some cover. Built right behind me. My shots were good. Moving over here was good. It gave me a moment. I assumed he was going to reload.
Oh,
He pulled
I
out
thought we
shotgun.
traded.
And then 1 health left. Let's see this. Yeah, I hit him first. At least on my end. Like, obviously there's server issues, so... Fired. Then I get hit. Actually, we could do the math here. So that's 81 damage. $29. What is that? I can't math. 109. 57. So 166.
Got a second.
Yeah, okay. So he should have actually had more health than just 1. Oh, though I did hit him earlier, so maybe he didn't get to full health while I shot him while he was above me. Okay, so I can't math that because he had to have healed. But yeah, whoops. Went too far. Overall, I was able to actually apply strategy, so I wasn't just focusing on the mechanics of the keyboard, because, like, after playing controller for so many years, switching to keyboard and mouse, it was just like, wait, what's the button again? And so I'm finally getting to a point where I can actually get back to where I was previously, where I'd focused on strategy with my builds, with my placement, things like that. because I'm not having to focus on, okay, what button do I press? And that just takes time. Oh, this was a terrible drop. Okay, so this one was interesting. Was this 27th? No, 30th? Okay. This drop, I was trying to go to my placement, but look at all the people here. Like, you can see them, you can see the indicators as well, and then there's like a couple people here who are also going to get that location before me. So I go to this little island. I have absolutely nothing but tires, some mats. I'm trying to get mats to like, okay, let me at least be able to build my way out, trying to fish for a gun or something. I finally get some loot. So I got lucky there that nobody else pushed me, because like pickaxe versus somebody with a shotgun or an SMG just like is not going to happen in this mode. Okay. So going through, just continuing to loot. Doing all right. Hanging out on the edge right here of the storm. Again, using this peak to be able to look through the cone. This is working to my favor, be able to see where people are at. An excellent little strategy to use. Just kind of took some shots off on this random person that was up there. And again, using the peak. So there's a dude right here to my right. So I decide to go left. I move up here. This person shoots at me from behind. I don't know if I want. Whoa. So again, what I was saying earlier, where'd this person go? I'm in the middle of building floors. Whoa! I try and build stairs as quickly as I can. Like, that's the best strategy I can use, but it felt like things weren't really lining up with the server, like the keys I was pressing. But I also was noticing my frames were dropping pretty significantly. Real quick. So it may have been a server thing, a ping thing, but it may have been a frames. So I just kind of have to wait till I get my new PC in
That's not what I wanted to do at
2
all.
weeks. That was unfortunate.
That was rude.
Didn't mean to do that.
Oh. It didn't... Okay, that was frustrating. Because it was, it kept switching to the big pot, and it kept trying to use the big pot when I was just trying to splash, and it just, like, build a wall in front of me. Dang. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
analysis.
so that person that was behind me, I didn't realize they were behind.
Context, I pulled up my phone to see, like, what happened there. So I went back and, like, looked at my stream on YouTube and just, like, rewinded it a little bit just to see what's going on. So this is me looking at it.
Behind me. So I ended up building, and it built stairs, unlike that other time when I got, like, 82nd. So I was able to recover. I accidentally built a wall in front of me.
Yep.
Because I was trying to do it so fast. But I didn't have 2 layers of protection there. Oh, they just got over the edge of the cone. Dang.
Yep. Okay, so if we scroll back. Whee. Not that far. Getting shot.
That was rude.
Didn't mean to build the wall there. I was actually trying to build it. Like, if you look, I'm trying to get one step in and build a wall back here and back there. And so it starts building a wall, but it also built it in front of me. So I'm like off by one step. If I would have been slightly more patient, then I wouldn't have had this wall in front of me, and it wouldn't have thrown me off so much. Because now I'm getting nailed right here. Oh. 34 health, so I'm trying to use my splashes. But it keeps pulling up my big pot. I was hoping this would provide me cover, but my head was sticking out. So, 24th. Wah, wah. Okay, so the next one, 27th place. And again, like, I know these placements aren't great. Like, obviously, 3rd place is pretty good, but my average placement here, not phenomenal, but to see this kind of growth over time, I'm happy with it. Like, it's nice to see the amount of effort I put into this because I started in like December, keyboard and mouse, and was terrible. Like if you watch some of the videos that I was releasing on social media, like some of the shorts and whatnot, like I was just happy to be able to shoot somebody. Like it was that bad. Or to remember to build or whatever. Okay, so I land on this island again. Able to get some guns, some mats. I mean, here we are. The storm's just closing, and I'm over 400 on every single mat. Already got some heals. Got the kind of weapon spread that I'm looking for in terms of long range, short range, and medium range. Okay, so continuing to move along the edge of the storm, hanging out. I see a supply drop, so I go for it, and there's like really not much that I wanted. There ended up being an epic chest, so I was able to get a better SMG, I believe, out of that. And then I'm continuing to move along the outskirts right here, going cover to cover. Or building my own. Again, using this peak so I can see where people are at. And then I get to right here. Somebody's in that bush.
Ideal, but
They leave. Visualize sound effect. So I notice it.
let's see if they have visualize sound effects on or not.
And they do. Okay, so I took height, which is great.
Okay.
I go to heal.
Oh, they're in my box. I did not see that at all. Okay, I need to be quick about this and ready.
All right, so let's hear the recap analysis.
Playing better. So the thing that I messed up, there was two main mistakes that I made on that end of that last round that I can think of just by going off of memory. One is I assumed that they didn't have visualize sound effect on, and so I was like, okay, I can sneak up behind them. But they had the advantage of me, on me. I was able to build quick, which was great. That worked out well. But the second thing that I made a mistake on is I should have built a stair or something. I thought I had a cone, but it like looked like it didn't place it inside the box with me. I don't see anybody.
Okay, so let's see if I was right there. So yeah, one thing I need to realize is that I need to... I also need to assume that if other people can hear, see me, and it, oops, that if I can hear or see other people, then they can too. So my mistake was this visualize sound effect. I could clearly see the indicator, so they likely saw it as well, and they had perfect placement. They waited until I got to the low point, and then they started shooting. It was such a good
Let's see if
move.
they have visualize sound
Like,
effects
I'm at a complete disadvantage here naturally. I can't break any of this cover,
on or not.
and they start shooting. So well done to that person. That was a great strategy to just kind of move around that way. In here, I don't have a cone. I thought I did, but my mistake, I was trying to heal. They're taking this wall right here, and I assumed it wasn't going to go as quickly as it did, but they took the wall right here. And look at that. They are already in my box right here. So, like, instantly, as soon as it broke, they're pushing right through it. So, overall, like, seriously, GG's to this person. They did an excellent job on that. So, smart plays on their behalf. Okay, so let's move on to the final round. So, the final round, I got 42nd. So if I zoom in, head forward, where did I land? Okay, so same spot. Getting mats. Trying to get better guns. I always forget I have these metal walls, because I find them so rarely now. I need to do a better job remembering that. Okay, so just kind of staying on the outskirts, staying by the edge, going cover to cover in the bushes, and then I get to right here. Get shot at.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty inconsistent with it, Taco. I don't know why either. Okay. Oh, fall damage.
Mistake.
That's no good. Oh.
Your health is low. Do you have any
All right.
potions or food?
Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's break this down a little bit more. So, while I was in here, he's shooting through that wall. I'm able to replace the wall and put up a second layer of cover. So when I was here, they could clearly shoot right through and hit me. So I was in a bad position there. I was at least in a clear enough state of mind to be able to put a second layer.
I don't know why.
It allowed me to get my heels off. Woo! That went too far. But let's take a look at what happens here. Again, I'm in a clear enough state of mind. I'm not panicking. Like, you don't see it on my face, like, ah, like something like that. So I'm able to put 2 layers of cover above me. They're not able to push through this because of that. They have height, but I finish, while they're reloading, finish the splashes, get myself to 100, and realize I need to get out of here. So I edit myself out. This shotgun hit. What happened here? Where are they at? They're above me? There they are. Okay, so they jumped. So I didn't see them while this was going on. They jump. They take height. What I try and do is take height as well. I try and get a shot on and then mantle, but I mess up. I'm too far back, and so then I fall and take fall damage. So I was able to build myself in and try and like get a heal off right here. So I pull out my big pot, but they start to push right here. I miss my shot.
Oh.
Your health is low. Do you have any?
Oh, fall damage. That's no good.
And it's frozen. Cool.
Fall damage. That's no good. Oh.
Oh, that was weird though. I didn't see any kind of indicator that it actually shot.
Fall damage. That's no good.
Okay, if you look at my ammo, you can see it is shooting it. So 8 to 7. But why didn't it hit? Oh, I just missed. Look at that. Should have shot slightly before. Yeah, so I mean, overall, like, huge improvements on points, huge improvements on placement. Still a lot that I'm continuing to learn and work from. So my main lessons, it looks like, is I need to not assume things. So I need to assume that they can see and hear me. I need to assume that they have better guns or more loot, etc. and builds or mats, and can't think of the word. And I need to try and focus on position and putting myself in a good vantage point. So I did like 2 sets of 1v1s before jumping on here, just because I want to do that as practice every day. And so when I was doing it, the thing that I was focusing on was placement, not just going for a quick kill or things like that. Like, I was trying to make sure I maintained height, basically controlling where the person could go and me being able to see where they're at. And I did a much better job with that. So yeah. In terms of what to work on, the 1v1s would definitely help. With a focus on edits and control. So I need to get to a point where I can box somebody in, and I don't know how to do that. I haven't worked on it. So, yeah. I don't know. Right. So that is the recap of yesterday's tournament. Let's do this. So I like to... Oh, no. It's 5 now. Look at that. So after the end of my streams, I like to just kind of give a little recap of how did I do, so I can kind of like look through this. If anybody was watching and has some feedback on what I could do to improve how I streamed, like was I responsive enough to the couple of chats that I got and the sub, which again, thank you, ZYX on YouTube. But also like the kind of reflections that I'm doing, is it useful? Like hearing the different strategies, or like what could I focus on more? Like was I focusing too much on placement and not enough on my aim? Or I don't know, I'm just kind of vamping here. So feel free to give me that feedback in the chat if anyone is watching, and if not, that's okay. Okay, so I felt like this was, I don't know, focused and educational. Let's go with educational. I learned something from it, so that's good. I learned some things I could improve and did a decent breakdown of how I did yesterday. In terms of the quality of the stream, I actually got sleep last night, so that was nice. I was less tired yesterday. Can't type. And I was pretty focused. What I will do is I watch all of my streams after the fact to find like clips, social media clips and whatnot that I can use. But I also learn like what could I have done better in terms of how I streamed. So I will continue to try and figure out how to refine these, because with my background in education and whatnot, like I want to make educational content because I'm passionate about that, and I just want to do it about gaming. So I'll continue to figure out like how can I improve these particular streams. But anyone who stopped by, I appreciate it. And ZYX again on YouTube, I appreciate the sub. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. I won't be on again today because I'm doing a bunch of video editing to make up for the fact that next weekend we got family coming over. So I need to get ahead on all the video edits if I can keep putting out content multiple times during the day on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, etc. So anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I should be on again tomorrow evening.